Many professionals are now required to be bilinguals. While this skill is difficult to attain, it is much easier if you travel to and live for some time in a country where the target language is spoken and you are required to speak it. Hi, my name is Cesar Luis Cardona Cárdenas. I have studied English for 5 years. I have been in various academies and courses to learn English. I have lived in the US for 3 months in order to improve my English language skills. Slide 3. With this new challenge for workers in undeveloped countries, the quantity of academies, programs, and courses, virtual and face-to-face, have grown in number but not in quality. But in the end, we need the opportunity to live for a while in a country where the native language is required. The education system needs to introduce bilingual skills at an early age. An article published by TrueFluencyKids.com and accessed in August 2021 explains that the most optimal time to learn a new language and achieve native fluency was by age. There are other interesting abilities that the bilingual children can develop. An article published by leadwithlanguages.org and accessed in August 2021 explains children proficient in other languages also show signs of enhanced creativity and mental flexibility. We need to create an easy way to travel as students to other countries. Understanding that it is a good idea to start building bilingual skills in childhood, the undeveloped countries should make an effort to encourage people to travel to another country to improve their bilingual skills. An article published by ef.edu in 2021 shared. It's one thing to learn the theory of a language and study vocab from a textbook at home, but it is an entirely different thing to move abroad and spend every day surrounded by it. And while both of these methods can help you gain valuable language skills, only one of them has been proven to turbocharge your language learning. Hint, it's not staying home. Although the education system in undeveloped countries lacks in many ways, it's important to start applying strategies that contribute to the teaching of foreign languages in childhood and the professional population. There are many ways to attain this goal. Government and private companies can help with this. Slide 4. One of the main ways to learn foreign language is to study in childhood. The government should support a strategy at least in public education. It could be 18 hours in school per week to this topic. It would be an investment because the more bilingual the population is, the better the global trade for the country. Per an article published by the weforum.org in 2018 explains, multilingualism is good for the economy. Researchers have found countries that actively nurture different languages reap a range of rewards, from more successful exports to a more innovative workforce. Another important player is the private companies. They can make investments in their employees and expect to profit from that, as we see in an article by cast.org and accessed in August 2021. Large enterprises rely as much or more on an international language, particularly English, or other host country languages, as they are more likely to do business internationally. Slide 5. Some may say that bilingual education is unnecessarily expensive. The reality for undeveloped countries is that this investment in education could be very expensive for most people. The cost of education is unfortunately real, and this is a barrier for most of the population to learn a second language fluently. This is not something new. Education in an undeveloped country can be expensive, and the investment from the government and private companies could be difficult to obtain. But there is a solution. This is the 21st century. Now, information is available through the internet, including how to learn other languages. An article from preply.com, accessed in August 2021, says, in short, there's a lot of extremely user-friendly and professional content available for free, and you'd be mad to miss out. With all this information at your disposition, you can learn other languages for free while saving money to travel to a country where the target language is spoken. So far, I have explained why the government and private companies in the undeveloped countries should invest in strategies that help the population become bilingual. At this moment, I can't imagine my professional skills will be as valuable as they are without my ability in English language. It is a great compliment to my profession. Because of that, I want to create awareness how very important it is to be bilingual and the importance for support in order to attain this ability. Slide 6. Now, let's see with more detail why learning a foreign language can be useful for the undeveloped countries. First, if most of the population of a country is bilingual, there are more choices for work, travel, and to have fun. Also, the country could become attractive to the rest of the world for tourism and businesses without language barriers. I am sure that these advantages are enough incentive for governments to invest in strategies to become bilingual population. People with bilingual abilities would benefit in their personal education and professions. Further, if most of the employees of a company are bilingual, it is great for the businesses because it would be easier for them to operate internationally, such as purchasing, materials, and sales. If undeveloped countries would make an investment toward the population learning a foreign language, they would help reduce the gap between third and first world countries. This would improve the life of billions of people. Finally, if a country makes an investment and becomes proficient in a foreign language, the country will be able to be more aware for other cultures. An article published by middlebury.edu in 2020 tells us, learning a new language has its benefits. One of the biggest advantages of being bilingual is that your tolerance is improved and you are more open to interaction and exploring different cultures. I won't say that bilingualism will prevent wars, but it is a good start to having more tolerant societies. Now that we have identified the many ways in which learning a foreign language could benefit a country, it's important to know that there are so many ways in which the country, private companies, and you could go about learning a foreign language. But if the people don't take advantage of the opportunities that the government and companies would provide, it would be a big waste of time and money. This should be a collaborative work between the parties. Slide 7. What could be the actions by the government and companies? The government could provide free courses, accessible by everyone. Also, it could provide money for food, housing, and courses in other countries to promote bilingualism. The companies could help by offering employees work by remote so that they can go to another country to study and work. What could be your actions? First, start a base for your new language, such as classes in a program, online options such as Babel, Duolingo, YouTube, listening to music, watching movies, and TV shows. Next, while you're studying, create a plan to go to another country, save money, choose the country, and then go and improve your language skills. As I told you, I am learning a foreign language, and now I am absolutely sure that the best way to learn is by living in the country where the target language is spoken. I highly recommend that you consider the benefits of bilingualism and start to plan to live in another country to achieve the goal. Thank you.